Hello. Yeah, today, man, as you can see in the title and the thumbnail, I actually ran into this gentleman story. It was just unbelievable that I actually ran into his story. But I think this man is a very interesting man. The governor, and if you wonder who I'm talking about, the title will tell you the governor of Utah, Mr. Scott Cox. I think he's a very, very interesting person. And I don't know, and I would like you guys to tell me in the chat if you think this gentleman is just a typical politician or this gentleman really is the type of person that he speaks highly of. Because the things that he say and the things that comes out that man's mouth, to me, is very inspirational. Like, he doesn't speak like your typical politician. But once again, politician. So you never know if it's the words are sincere or the words are just to be elected to some form of office higher than where he's at right now. So the only office I think higher than to be a governor, the only next step will be a president. So I don't know if the words that he's speaking is just to run for the presidency in a couple of years, but I really like what this man is saying. When he speaks, I listened to a couple of his tapes, interviews, and etc. List a couple of interviews and etc. of him speaking, and he's the type of person that I like listening to because he speaks highly about unity. He speaks highly of working together. He speaks highly against violence, and he actually knows the reason. He speaks with a lot of knowledge about why he honestly think the violence is happening. Via social media is amping up the level of violence in not just the United States, in the world. I've been thinking like that. I think social media plays a huge role in a lot of the violence that's been happening all around the world. So that's why actually, like YouTube, I respect the platform of YouTube because YouTube holds a very high standard when coming to community guidelines. There's a lot of things that you could say in other platforms and other apps that you cannot really say on YouTube. And that's a person like me appreciate that. Because unity is the best way to make things better in this world. If we unite, I think we have a better chance to solve all of our problems. And that's how this man speak. Mr. Cox, the governor of Utah, guys. Yeah, man, we're gonna listen to what he have to say, guys. Welcome back to Lannie. Let's get into this video, guys. Let's go. Yeah, guys, welcome to the live stream, man. And in advance, I want to take the time out to say thanks to the people that's actually joining the live stream. Thank you very much. Appreciate you guys taking the time out to join the stream, and hope all is well with everybody all around the world. Literally, I hope everybody's having a good night, a good evening, depends on where you're at in this world. Hope everybody's celebrating and taking care of what they need to take care of. Yes, guys, always be having difficulties every time, and I do the best I can to avoid the complications behind the scenes. You have to. I just started this live stream, and is that every time I set up, I've been setting up for the past half an hour so I can make sure everything will run smoothly and have a great stream tonight without any complications. It's just it just is not happening. Incredible, dude. Don't worry though. Listen, bear with me, guys. Have patience. I promise you, I'm gonna figure it out eventually. I'm gonna get it. I just need to keep working at it, but I'm gonna get it eventually. Don't worry. Is within me. I just have to figure it out. Every good thing in life takes time, so that's where I'm at with that right now. Yeah, every good thing in life takes time. Just give me the time, and I promise you, I will master this whole concept. I'm just starting. I like it though. The most important thing that I actually like doing live streams, it brings joy to my heart, and I just want to bring stories that actually make me happy and make me feel good. I want to bring stories that could actually change the world. I don't want to go down the same path like everybody, but I want to do things that, could actually, I want to talk about people that actually doing things to better the world, to better the planet. And this gentleman that we're going to speak about tonight, the governor of Utah, Mr. Cox, and I think he's one of those people, man. Like, I don't know this man personally, but what I have seen looking into this gentleman, his words is his words are very inspirational. The things that he say that, he just wants to unite the world. He wants us to work together. And I'm one of those people, I think like that all the time. I think the only how for us as a society to solve our problems is working together. Everything, there is no other way. There is no other way. We have to come together to solve our problems in this world. So we're going to listen to Mr. Scott. I'm going to get into the first video, guys. And yeah, let's take a listen to it, and we figure it out together.
Who do you blame for the division?
I do believe that social media is a cancer, and it is taking all of our worst impulses and putting them on steroids. It is driving us to division. It is driving us to hate. These algorithms that have captured our very souls, they've captured our free agency, these dopamine hits that get our young people and our old people addicted to outrage and hate that serve us up on a regular basis are absolutely leading us down a very dark path.
A path through platforms that look like civil war, powered by algorithms, programs written to amplify posts of rage.
The algorithms are absolutely destroying us. Once they know what your political leanings are, then it's like a pack of wolves that just attack. We have this collective.
And you might say that's not true, but I've been thinking like that. Before I actually heard this gentleman say those words, I'm like, a lot of the violence and things that's going on that influencing the violence, to me, a lot of it is from social media. A lot of it is from social media, man, because a lot of the hatred builds up on social media. A lot of people now could just say something hateful without actually putting the picture and to back up those hateful words. There's so many ways that people could spread hateful stuff all across the world just with one post of a message. Social media is worldwide. It's not just in the United States. Social media is worldwide. So it's so easy in 2025 and going forward for people that's living a life of hatred to just get an audience. It's very easy to get an audience, especially when it comes to violence. Violence attracts people very, very, very quickly. So I honestly always thought that social media is playing a huge role in a lot of the destructions. A lot of the destruction with people versus people all around the world. A lot of the violence, a lot of the hatred. I think it honestly, a lot of it comes from social media. A lot of people get amped up after reading a post that somebody will make about something that they had in their mind, and they've been thinking about it, but now they see a post about it, and they're like, now they know they have people to back them up. And then you read some of these comments, dude. These comments be super hateful. It'd be super hateful, man. So before this gentleman came and said those words, I always do. I'm telling you, I always thought that social media has, and the people that own social medias, those apps, the people that actually own those apps, I think they should play a bigger role in what to censor. Because once again, people always say, "Oh, it's free speech. Let people just say whatever they please." Yes, but you have to understand, free speech could cause chaos in this world. X is one of those platforms where you could say and post whatever you want basically on X. It's uncensored. But it's a way with those type of platforms that, it could get people to see stuff that they should have not seen. And just seeing certain things that they get to witness, and they've been having those feelings in the back of their mind for years. They've been having those hateful feelings towards a certain group, towards a certain religion, towards a certain color of people. They've been having those hatred in the back of the head for years. But now they're realizing that there are videos, there are hundreds of videos, thousands of videos on the internet that they could actually find people to communicate with. They could find people to collaborate with the same hateful thoughts that they've been having for years. So now they know they have people out there that have those same thoughts. So guess what? They could collaborate, and then things like that spread. It spreads like wildfire, man. It does, because I always think, bro, the whole uncensored stuff, it's like playing Russian roulette. It is. It's no hold bars, because you never know, bro. When you give open access to people to say and behave and do whatever they please without absolutely no consequences, I think that's a recipe for a lot of things bad could happen. A lot of bad things could happen, man. I'm not saying X is a bad platform. X is a good platform. It's good, but it also has a dangerous aspect to platforms like that has no type of censorship to nothing. It's, to me, it could go both ways. Because we have to understand, as human beings, there is bad people out here, bro. There is bad people. And that's how this world is operating. There is good and bad. Yes, there is way more good people in this world than bad people, but at the same time, we always have to keep in mind there is bad people. There is people out here in this world that will do bad things. They will do bad things for absolutely nothing, just because of the hatred they've been building up for so many years in the back of their mind, just because of all of the things that they've been thinking about for years. Now they're seeing it all over social media, and they notice that, okay, now I have other people who are thinking the same thing I've been thinking for 4 years. And this stuff spread. It spreads all around the world, man. So when I came across this gentleman's video, and I'm like, this is the type of person, man, that actually, he's talking sense. And like, the things that he's saying is very sensible. He's talking about uniting the country, uniting the world, like, people, we have to get along. And I'm like, we need more people like that, because that's my whole thing about life. That's my whole present. That's the presence that I want to have on social media. That's the presence I want to have on the internet. I want to be a part of something to solve the problem. I don't want to go down the same path like everybody else, throwing gasoline in the fire. I don't want to be one of those people. There's so many people like that in the media. There is so many people like that on the internet that just throw gasoline in fires just to get blaze. To me, that's just unnecessary, because that's how you incite violence. By throwing gasoline on a fire that you already know, this fire been lit for a couple of weeks. This fire needs to be turned off. The more gasoline get in this fire, people are going to lose their lives. But I see a lot of people on the internet, a lot of people in the media, they rather throw gasoline into that fire to get it to be ablaze. They don't care who die and who. Nobody cares, So I want my presence to honestly be on the internet. One of those people that could actually be known for doing the best they can to bring people together. To close the gap to close the gap that we're currently facing in our society, in our communities, in our neighborhoods. That's my intentions, to close that gap, to bring us a little closer together. Every single day I could do a stream. That's my whole thing. Let's work together. Let's do things together to make this world better. We as human beings, we're not perfect. Absolutely, we are not. You will never find a perfect human being, but the biggest problems that we're facing is that the disrespect that we give to each other, the way that we treat each other, is destroying communities, it's destroying neighborhoods. So this gentleman is one of those people that actually, I think he has very good intentions. And once again, he's a politician, so you just never know with politicians. You just honestly never know, because all of this could just be a show for him to get into, a higher office. Because being a governor is a high office. Being a governor, you up there. That's a very high office. But once again, you just never know with these politicians. You never know like where you stand. Like, is that truly how they feel in their heart, or those are just words to get people to like them, to follow them, and at the end of the day, it's all manipulation for them to get into position of power. It could go both ways with politicians. You just never know. But to me, he's very sincere. Like, I listened to several tapes of him, being interviewed, him speaking in conference and stuff like that. And to me, he sounds very sincere, man. So, I once again, I can't call it. We're going to keep watching something else with him.
That radical call to love our enemies, especially our political opponents. It's not an easy answer, but it is a simple one. If we really want to change the world, we have to start by changing our own hearts. Thank you.
That's 100% accurate. If we want to change the world, we have to change from within. And I know there is a lot of people like me out there, but in the media and on the internet, it seems like you can't find a lot of people that's willing to change from within to better themselves and to better the community that they're in, to better the neighborhoods that they're in. It's very hard to find people in the media. It's very hard to find people on this internet that has this pure, clean heart that's just willing to do things to make a difference. Every page you look at, you're seeing people is basically ripping each other apart. People is just, and I understand it brings views, it brings clicks and likes and stuff like that. Yes, it's a quick way to get to some money. Yes, but at the end of the day, money is printed every single day. If you do things if you do things in life that's just how I feel. If you do things in life that has morals within the things that you do, if you do things in life to bring people apart, it might be a harder way to gain finance. Yes, it might be a harder way to gain finance, but eventually, when you gain that finance you're looking for, it's not going to be something that's going to be easy to take. It's not going to be something that's going to be easy to be taken away from you. That's just how I feel. I think when you do things bad, disrespectfully, when you do things to hurt others, when you do things that that create problems for others, when you do things that incites violence, yes, you could get you could get to the financial part of it fast because people love chaos. People love that whole thing on the internet and the media. Dude, people love chaos. So yes, you probably get, but it's not going to be something that's going to last forever. It's not. Because eventually people are going to get tired with that type of content. People are going to get tired of, oh my God, every time I clicked on this person's page, it's some fight or some argument or some this. Eventually at the beginning, it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be very good for you. But you want to have things and you want to be a part of things that will last for decades. And everything that lasts for decades, it has the potential to start very slow. That's why that's why there's a saying in this world that every good thing that you will accomplish in this world is going to take time. And it's 100% accurate. It's a fact that every single thing that we are going to accomplish that's going to last for decades, for centuries, to last through families, from families to families, is going to take a very long time to come together. It's going to take the sleepless night. It's going to take the stressful days. It's going to take, it's going to take a lot to accomplish this goal. But once this goal is accomplished, it goes on for years, for decades, for centuries to come. That idea that you were struggling with now became something that your entire family could have forever. So I just think there should be more people who want to create things that could lead them and the family down the financial gains, not just for 2-3 years. I'm talking about financial gains for decades. And unfortunately, there's not a lot of people like that. There is not. You go through this internet or you go through the media, there is not a lot of people like that, man. People are nowadays quick to bring other people down so they could feel like they're winning. People are quick to be, they're quick to go to get gas to throw into the fire. That the fire, they know the fire is already lit. The fire is hot. You know what I mean? But yet people are very quick to go get gas to put in that fire, knowing that the bigger the fire gets, more people will get hurt. People don't care because guess what? That's the type of things, that's the quick success. A lot of people is willing to chase the quick success in this world. And that's one of the biggest reasons, man, that we are having so much chaos all around the world, man. We are having a lot of chaos all around the world, believe it or not, because all of the people out here that want to get it the quick, fast way. The quick, fast way is always going to lead you down a path with no morals. A lot of people who will do the quick, fast way, they have no morals, bro, no self-respect. They're willing to do and say whatever it takes to accomplish their goals. They don't have the thought process of, oh man, I don't want to hurt nobody. I want to do what I do and I want to do it the right way. No, they don't care. They don't care about the right way. It's all I do and say whatever it takes to get what I want in mind, to get what I want. I don't care who get hurt. I don't care who I step over. I don't care what's the consequences of others. I just going to do whatever I can to get what I want. There's a lot of people like that out here, man, unfortunately. And I'm going to be the one, though. Well, I think that governor, that's what I like. Listen, I don't know that governor. I'm just saying, for what I seen, he seems like a trustworthy person. But once again, he's a politician. He's a politician. So you never know. It's a hit and miss, but the things that I seen from this gentleman, the words that he constantly keeps speaking with with uniting the world, with uniting people, instead of people are so hateful against this party and that party, he's willing to work with any and everybody to make a change in the world. And he could be, listen, he could be all nonsense. He could be just a typical politician that will say and do whatever it takes to get ahead in life. He could be one of those, 100%. There's a lot of those out here. I call them typical politicians that will say and do whatever it takes to get into office. And once they get into office, things change. You know what I mean? So he could be one of those people. I don't know, but every video that I done seen, every tape I done seen this gentleman speaking on, especially when the situation happened in Utah with Charlie Kirk. The press conference that he was a part of, I thought that was a really, really, really good press conference. I thought like the things that he was speaking on, I thought that was really, really good. Like, the things that he said about the situation, and, that we don't need to be living in this time where people are just so hateful to each other. A lot of things that he said in that press conference really, like I liked it a lot. I really enjoyed the speech that he gave in that press conference. I thought he was, I thought he was like somebody who you could actually trust. His words his words in that press conference about Charlie Kirk seems very, very sincere. And I'm a good reader of people, believe it or not. Like I study the behavior of humans for a couple of years of my life. So I'm a very good reader. When it comes to reading people, like I'm like really good at reading people, body language and everything when they speak. When people talk, because a lot of people talk and they just talk and say whatever they'll say whatever they need to say to get what they want. A lot of people are like that. But I'm one of those people that I could listen to you, I could watch you, like I could look at you in your eyes and I could see like, okay, is this person really sincere of the words that they're speaking about? Or this person is just all lies and just, saying whatever they need to say to get in office. Once again, it could go both ways as a politician, but what I seen, like what I read from this gentleman, I don't think he's just doing it to get to the White House. I don't think he's just doing it to get to a higher office. That's what I read into this though. Like I could be wrong. You know what I mean? I could be wrong 100%. But who knows?
On camera, in all of our hands, and in all of our pockets. We are not wired as human beings biologically. Historically, we have not evolved in a way that we are capable of processing those types of violent imagery. And by the way, we've seen another one with a gruesome stabbing very recently that went viral. This is not good for us.
And this is at the press conference when the unfortunate death of Charlie Kirk. This is the press conference that he had in regards to that situation. And that's the first thing I seen about him. And I'm like, the things he was saying, and he got emotional, and I'm like, okay, that's the first video I ever seen. And then I'm like, okay, this man could probably just be an actor. He's a politician. But then I looked at some other tapes of this gentleman, and I'm like, he seems like a very sincere person, and the last thing he just said about the incident that happened in North Carolina, I thought that was a really, really bad incident, bro. I think that's a bad incident. And the president recently came out saying that a lot of the states in the United States had mental institutions. A lot of, especially New York State where I'm at. New York State actually closed all the mental institutions. They closed all major. I think they're different. I don't even think there is any open in New York State. So the president that came out the other day and said that he's really considering reopening some of these mental buildings. And I think you need that, because a lot of people, when the incident happened in North Carolina with the gentleman brutally unalive this woman on the bus on the train going home from work. This woman is minding her business on her phone, but once again in life, everything happens for a reason. But this woman came from a country that's at war. This woman was from Ukraine. She left Ukraine to come to the United States for peace, to live in peace and to have a peaceful life, to just, work, pay her bills and live a good life. And she's hoping and praying eventually the violence in her country stop and she could go back home, back and forth. And she's coming from work, and out of nowhere, this piece of shit behind her, this garbage behind her, dude, just on her life, though. And everybody stood there and watched. Just stood there and watched. Why this guy, bro, I don't even like talking about this incident because it just gets me so mad that nobody helped. Nobody stood to help. Nobody. This guy got off he just left and nobody did absolutely nothing. Why is this poor girl just sat there and just leaned over, and it's been unbelievable, dude. Unbelievable. And when the president came out and made the statement that he really strongly believed that those places has to be reopened, 100%. Those buildings has to be reopened. Every state should have 2-3 of those buildings, because when this incident happened, everybody's going and say, "Oh, the judge released him." What do you want a judge to do? If this man is arrested for something, shoplifting, for whatever the charges that he had, they give him a time, they do his time, and they has to release him. They have to release him. So everybody was blaming the judge. It was the judge, or the judge should have kept him. How are you going to keep him in jail? When he gets sentenced to go, after that time is finished, he gets out. That's how the justice system works. You commit a crime, after you get caught, you face the consequences for your action, but eventually there's a release date. So he was released. Yes, he was released all the time because that's just how the justice system works. So it's not the judge's fault, it's society. That's who, listen, if they had those buildings still open, that's a type of person who would never get out. Because in those buildings, there is rules that, okay, if you don't show signs of you could actually get back into society and live a normal life, they'll keep you in those buildings for as long as it takes. It's not like you getting arrested and going to jail and you get a time, you get 2 years, 3 years, whatever it might be, you get a time and then you get a release date. No, in those buildings, in those mental institution places, when you check in, if you don't show signs that you could actually get into society and be a normal person in society, you're never getting out. So you're going to be in there for years and years and years and years. You will never get the chance if you don't show signs. There's different ways they're going to test you. So make sure that you could go back to society and live a comfortable life around you could live a comfortable life around normal people. You could be a normal citizen and live a normal life around everybody else. So I honestly think that what the president said, that every governor of every state should be like, you know what, this is honestly have to happen. This has to happen, because you can't be having all of these people in the streets, and women are the most likely targets. For people like that who always claiming they have mental issues, listen, bro, and I'm not saying people don't have mental issues, but at the end of the day, bro, majority of people nowadays are committing crimes and saying they have mental issues. So guess what? Open up those mental buildings, put them in those buildings. Let them get treatment. Let them stay in that building till that the staff or whomever is running those programs feel like these people are they're good enough to go back into general society. Until then, because everybody nowadays is getting arrested, and all of a sudden, I have mental problems, or he has a history of mental situations. The guy that came from Las Vegas to come to New York to Manhattan, to the NFL building to go commit the crimes. He had mental issues. If you have a history of that so-called mental problems, you need to check these people into those buildings, those mental institutions. You need to check them into those programs. You need to get them in there. You need to get them off the streets. You need to get them away from regular society. You need to. It's not discrimination. It's not, oh no, it's just facts. Because you putting these people out that has support, you're putting these people back out that has a history of mental problems. And I'm using the bullshit because I think a lot of these people is all nonsense. That's just an excuse. Do stupid stuff, go to a hospital, claim that you're seeing demons, you're doing. I think, to me, dude, a lot of these people is just another way to get out of the stuff that they did. Simple and plain, dude. I'm not saying people don't suffer from mental problems, but nowadays in 2025, this is being used as a defense for every case. For every criminal that's committing a crime nowadays, that's the first thing that the lawyers are using for a defense. They have mental problems. They have history. They got arrested 10 times. In and out. They've been in the hospital. They have counselors that's saying that they have mental issues. So why are they still allowed to be in the streets? Why are they still allowed to be around little kids? Why are they still allowed to be around elderly people? Eventually they're going to snap. Just like this guy on this bus. He snapped. Now, after what he did on this bus, he will never get out of jail. He will never get out of prison. But still, why wait so late for somebody innocent have to lose their life? Or for some guy who could have been in a mental institution for the rest of his life years ago. Since the second, third time that he's seen the judge could have just sent him in one of those buildings and keep him there. Let them deal with him. But instead of that, you're blaming the judge. What can the judge do? The judge hands are tied. He committed a crime. She gave him the time. The time is up. They release him back into the streets. That's not the judge's fault. That's just the way the system works. Reopen those mental buildings so these people could go in there and have a permanent home instead of being outside committing chaos in society. Please, you guys, work with the president. To all the governors all around the world, all around the states, to all the governors all around the state, please work with the president and get that done. It's necessary to get that done ASAP, immediately, to get these people off the streets, to save our children, to save our elderly people, to save our women in our family. The women and the elderly people and the kids are the most vulnerable to those people who are claiming they had mental problems, because they're not going to come up to me. They're not seeing me in the road and coming up to me like they know who to target. They know who to target. So the people that's mostly vulnerable to to get those type of crime happen to them, it's women, kids, and the elderly, 100%. So to avoid our little kids getting hurt, to avoid our elderly people getting hurt, to avoid the females in our families getting hurt, work with the president, reopen those buildings, get these people off the street, dude.
It is not good to consume. Social media is a cancer on our society right now. And I would encourage people to log off, turn off, touch grass, hug a family member, go out and do good in your community. That is happening, and it's happening organically right now. I had a friend in a small city in Utah who said, we're getting together, the Republicans and Democrats in my little town are getting together to have a discussion last night, just to find a way to find their better angels. So yes.
Yes, like this man, he works with every different parties. He doesn't just work. He's actually a Republican governor. But he's willing to work with everybody to find a solution to what's going on in the world right now. And I admire that. I admire the fact that, he's willing to, sit with people and let's have this discussion. We're not perfect people, but let's have this serious discussion and see what we could honestly do to make this world a better place. You know what I mean? Like, this is discussions that need to happen. You need to have discussions like that, because if you don't, and you're just looking at life on a one-way street, it's never going to solve anything. It's not going to solve absolutely nothing, dude. That's why I really, I respect this man. I think that what he's doing, what he's saying, somebody just say in the chat, don't trust him. Like, he's just a typical politician. But once again, is it could go both ways, man. But I spent a lot of my life, I spent a couple of years of my life actually, like, studying the behavior of people. And I'm a very good reader. I'm a very good person at reading other people's demeanor. You know what I mean? So for all the tapes that I looked at with this gentleman speaking, I really think that he's sincere. I think that a lot of things that he's saying, he actually mean it in his heart. I don't think that he's doing it to get into a higher office. I genuinely don't think that. I think he's a very sincere person. I think he's honestly speaking about bringing peace within the United States, and I think he's speaking from his heart. I think he's tired of the violence. There's people like that. Like, there's people like him. Like, I'm the same way. Like, I'm tired of seeing people getting hurt for no reason. I'm tired. Like, what happened to that girl on the bus? What happened to Charlie Kirk? Like, it's unnecessary. It's completely unnecessary that people is getting, on alive for words. People are being on alive because of what they're saying. Yes, words are very powerful. 100%. Words are very, very powerful. But is it necessary to hurt somebody because they said something that you don't like? It's not necessary at all. But it's happening more and more often. You've seen those people going just the other day. You've seen this man went into a church and unalive people. Like, you've seen this type of violence more and more and more is happening more and more every single day. So this man coming out as a governor, and he has power. He has power, to speak upon this type of stuff. Like, he has a lot of influence. He could reach way more people than I can. So that's why I think that he's sincere. I think his words are sincere, that he really would like to see peace within the United States. And I think for peace to truly come to the United States, a lot of these governors need to work with the president. Like, a lot of these governors need to work with the president and stop thinking that, oh, the violence in my city, the violence in my state, that I could control it. But yet, every week, you're hearing about this high murder rate. Every week, somebody's getting killed unnecessarily. Every week, somebody's getting robbed. Every week, somebody's getting, unalive by weapons. Like, yes, you've been trying to do it. It's not getting done. Work with the president and get it done. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure it out. You know what I mean? There is too many unnecessary violence in the United States for stupid stuff, dude. Why would you go to a church and unalive people? Like, how you wake up and just think about doing some shit like going to a church, a house of God, that people are just there to worship and praise God. And you want to go into that property, into that building, and do some dirtbag stuff. Like, what, but it's happening more often. People are going into schools. Little kids going to learn. So it's hearing someone like him with, he has a powerful voice. He could speak and a lot of people will listen. So it starts from there. The higher up you are in life, the more that, the more you could get people to listen to what you have to say. Me, I'm still at the bottom. My words is powerful. Yes, I hope I could reach a lot of people with the content I'm going to put out as much as I can, but still, it's going to take me a while to get up there, to build an audience, to build a community that could actually share my knowledge with different people, and then, hopefully my words could take off. but he's at a position in his life that his words, could reach a lot of people. So I respect that. I respect a governor, a man at his status could actually come out and say like, listen, enough is enough. Charlie Kirk didn't deserve to die. That lady on the bus didn't deserve to die. Like the people at the church didn't deserve to die. The people in the NFL building didn't deserve to die. Like, it's just, let's figure it out together. So that's why I really like this man, because he's trying to figure it out as well.
Yeah, I mean, if your view of America is not shaken right now, then there's something wrong with you. This is a direct assault on America, a direct assault on every single one of us. Of course, it's an assault on Charlie, and we love Erica and her kids and his family, but this is us. And this is our chance. This is our moment. We've had periods like this in the past. I mentioned the late 60s and early 70s. But if we're waiting for a president or a governor to get us out of this dark chapter, then it will never happen. We can't. I don't understand this. Again, giving our agency up, waking up every day and saying, well, what did the president say today? That's going to determine how I react. Or what does the governor say today? That makes no sense to me. Every one of us has to look in the mirror and decide, are we going to try to make it better, or are we going to make it worse? And I pray that God will help us find him again and find our souls and find each other again.
100%. And he's right, dude. He's right. Like, at the end of the day, we just have to do it together. The president is doing the best he can to unite the country. The governor of your state is doing the best they can to unite the countries. The mayor of your states, the mayor of your city, the politicians are doing. Some of them are doing the best they can to actually unite the world. You reunite the countries. Reunite the country, and it all starts with me. It all starts with you. It all starts with us as God kids, willing to work together to solve our problems. Listen, life is filled with pain. There is no escaping pain through life. No matter what you might be going through today, you think you're the only one that's going through what you're going through right now. No, you're not. You have to sit back and think about, bro, right now, you have a phone, you have a TV, you have a car, you have a place to stay, you have food in your refrigerator, you have kids around here that loves you, that actually getting up and going to school. You take your kids to school, you bring them back, take them to soccer practice, football practice, baseball practice. Like, yes, you don't have everything that you desire for you and your family, but you're blessed. So the things that you're going through right now, the stress you're going through because financially you probably don't have the financial need to get the boat that you always desire. You don't have the financial need to get the pretty car that you always desire. But you have a car. There is people out here that have to actually walk to the destinations, that they don't even have money for public transportation. They have to illegally hop public transportation and hope they don't get caught or get a ticket or get arrested to get to the destination. There's people that doesn't have no money to eat, that they have to be bumming for money all day so they could have some food. So no matter what we might be going through, there is always someone else that's going through 100 times worse. That's why I live my life very, very grateful. I have a very grateful heart because I think it's necessary to wake up every single day and show gratitude. Show gratitude to God every day. Because yes, you might not have the things that you truly desire, but you have life. You have clean water to drink. You have clean water to bathe. You have a car that you could jump into and go to your destination. You have schools that your kids are going to get a good education. Like, you have things that a lot of people don't. And you might be at the point like you're tired of what you have because you feel like you're not growing. You feel like you're not getting to where you truly desire. But every single day, one step gets you closer to your destination. Every good things in life takes time. I said it before, I'm going to say it again. Every good things that we desire in our lives, it takes time to accomplish. Everything. And more every single day, me myself, I'm growing more and more patient to realize you need patience. Because no matter what you might be going through right now, every single day, wake up and take that one step forward. Just, if you can take 2, 3, 4, 5 steps every single day, take that one step forward. And I promise you, eventually you are going to get to that destination that you truly desire. So being filled with gratitude matters. When you have a grateful heart, things get simple for you. When you have one of those, when you're one of those type of people that you every time before you eat, you say thanks to God. I'm one of those people. Every time you get into the car to drive, you say thanks to God. Every time you put on your clothes, you say thanks to God. Like, everything that you have is because of God. When you wake up every day with that grateful heart, it makes things in life easier for you. So the problem that we're having nowadays, a lot of people are super ungrateful. Yes, they want bigger and to have more things that they don't even need. They just want it. They want to have so many things that they don't need. And the stress of what they're going after, that they don't need once again. And the stress that they accumulate, the stress that they accumulate in their head drives them nuts to do stuff that's eventually, that they think the things that they're doing, that because of all the stress that they're building on their own, they're building the stress on themselves because they're in the pursuit of things that they don't need. They just wanted to, a lot of people just want stuff to impress other people. But they're stressing their own selves out. They're killing themselves every day. Not realizing, like, slow down. Take it easy. The things you truly desire, if you really truly desire it and God see that it's something that you should have, every day take a step towards it. It's no need to rush. It's no need to be every day wake up unhappy because you feel like you're not getting closer to what you desire. Just a step every single day. Be grateful. Every single thing in life, that anything that we deserve, anything that we deserve in life, it takes time, dude. It takes time to come through. It takes time for it to build. It takes time for us to have it. It takes time. You need the patience. You need the time. You gotta relax. That's the biggest problem we're facing. So many people are so angry of things that they don't need. They're in pursuit of things that they want, and guess what? The anger builds up and builds up and builds up, and then we're just fighting each other. We are just fighting each other every single day because of things that we want that we don't need. It's straight nonsense. It's straight nonsense. And when I say that, this gentleman that came to New York from Las Vegas, that went to the NFL building, like, this man came all the way to New York because he wanted to do something that he felt like he had got done wrong from the NFL. So he wanted to do something to get payback. Are you serious, bro? Like, those are the type of things that people wake up and think about. Like, oh, this person did me wrong, and this company did this to me. Bro, leave revenge in the hands of God and his family. Every single thing that happened to us in life happens for a reason. Okay, you didn't make the NFL. Don't blame nobody. It's a reason that you did not make the NFL. It's not the NFL's fault. It's not the people that is involved in it. No, it's something that God didn't want you to do. That's how you have to look at things in life. It's not about, oh, I'm mad at this person because of what they're saying. Why are you so mad at Charlie Kirk because of what he's saying that make you want to unalive this man? He's saying stuff that hurts your feelings. Don't listen to him. Cut him off. That's just how. Live the anger in the hands of God and his family. Live the frustration in the hands of God. Because every single day you're waking up super angry, super emotional, chasing stuff that you don't really want. Chasing stuff that you don't really need in your life. You don't need to be chasing Charlie Kirk down to go every place he goes, hunting him down because of what he's saying. Just that's what I want you guys to understand. Like, if someone is saying something that you don't like, that bothers you, you could just don't listen to them. You could get away from these people. But when you wake up every single day angry and you want to take it into your own hands, you want to keep following this person, you want to go wherever they go, wherever they speak, you want to be a part of the audience. Knowing everything that they say gets you mad. Why do you want to still go and be a part of the audience? Why you want to take all that hatred in your heart that you're waking up with every day for that person? Why do you want to see them? Why you want to be around them? You don't need to. You choose to be around them. You choose to continue the things that you know. You don't need to continue these things. You want to continue this stuff. You want to continue the whole anger that you face every single day. Why you're getting up every day mad or Charlie Kirk of what he's talking about, but yet you want to go pursue him. You want to go where he's at. It makes no sense. Just any and every people that might listen or see this video, if anybody in society, it could be your neighbor, it could be someone in your family, it could be someone on social media, it could be someone in the media in general, on the internet, that are saying stuff that gets you angry, that's saying stuff that gets you emotional. Tune them out. Just don't look at what they have to say. Don't tune them out and leave it in the hands of God. Leave your frustration in the hands of God. We all have to do that. We cannot go through life being angry of what others are doing with their lives. We can't. We cannot go through life being angry at our neighbor because our neighbor decided to change, to transition from a man to a woman. We cannot go around seeing our neighbor now and all of a sudden want to be disrespectful to our neighbor because our neighbor decided to make a decision with their body, is their life. But yet, you're going to wake up every single day and you're going to see your neighbor now and all of a sudden you want to be disrespectful. You want to be saying bad stuff to that person. You're getting up every day angry at that person because they're doing something with their own life. Just think about what I'm saying. You don't have to look at that person. You don't have to have relationship, no conversation with nobody that brings anger to you. You don't. You can always walk away. You can always stay away. You can always avoid situations that you know that you don't need to be in. You could always avoid situation you don't need to be in. It's just the simple fact a lot of human beings, they want to be in those situations. They want to talk bad about other people. They want to see people and start an argument. You don't need to do none of this stuff. You don't need to prove to nobody that you're tough. Especially proving to somebody that you're tough that didn't do nothing to you. They just changed their transition from a man to a woman because that's the choice they made. That's their life. We need to stop hating each other based on our differences. Our differences make us very violent. 100%. Our differences in life make us very, very violent towards each other. We don't learn to respect and enjoy each other differences. We're always going to live in life. We're always going to live in a world filled with chaos. It's just a fact, dude. If we don't learn as a society to appreciate each other differences, we're always going to go down that path of unnecessary violence. It's always going to be it's always going to be like that, dude. No matter what people might say, it's always going to be like that because we're not all the same people. We are not the same, dude. We are different people. We have differences. We have different fingerprints. We have different way of thinking. We have different way of learning. We are different. So we have to realize that, bro, our differences, we have to appreciate each other's differences. That's what makes this world a better place. Instead of being mad at someone that's different from you, instead of being mad at someone who want to do something different with their life, congratulate them. And if it bothers you that much, stay away from them. It's not necessary, dude. It's never necessary, bro.
We're in a dark chapter, and you're not sure if it's the end of a dark chapter or beginning of a darker one. Is your view of America right now shaken?
Yeah, I mean, if your view of America is not shaken right now, then there's something wrong with you. This is a direct assault on America, a direct assault on every single one of us. Of course, it's an assault on Charlie, and we love Erica and her kids and his family, but this is us. And this is our chance. This is our moment. We've had periods like this in the past. I mentioned the late 60s and early 70s. But if we're waiting for a president or a governor to get us out of this dark chapter, then it will never happen. We can't. I don't understand this. Again, giving our agency up, waking up every day and saying, "Well, what did the president say today?"
He's right, dude. He's 100% right. We have to figure it out together. We cannot rely on what the president has to say every single day because the president is doing his best. The president has to do his best for the entire country, not just, for one state. The president has to worry about all 50 states within the United States. So the president has a lot on his table. So it's not what the president say every single day. The president is trying as best as he can. It's not what the governor is saying every single day. It's just us in our communities. It starts from the communities. It starts from the neighborhoods. We have to do it together. Unfortunately, it's very complicated because a lot of communities over the years, they done built so much hatred to each other in the communities. A community of 2,000 people. You'll be shocked and surprised how many of these 2,000 people don't speak or hate each other or have some type of animosity towards each other. It's ridiculous. And a lot of times the animosity is over nothing. A lot of times, man, the animosities within those communities, within those neighborhoods is over nonsense, dude. But it happens over years. It builds up over 2, 3 years, 4 years, living in the same community with the same people, and something happened 4 years ago. 4 years ago, dude. And every single year, it just kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And next thing you know, these people want to take each other head off. You know what I mean? And it's hard for them to fix it because then nobody is actually talking sense into them and telling them, listen, this shit is nonsense. The majority of people that hangs around this type of situation, they're the ones that are putting gas into the fire. A lot of people are like that. A lot of people rather put gas into the fire and turn it into a bigger blaze than it already is. It's just the way life goes. It's unfortunate, but me as, once again, man, my whole presence in the media, on the internet, I want my presence to be positive, dude. If I could convince one person tonight to like forget about what they've been going through with their neighbor, forget about it. It's not that serious. You know what I mean? If I could convince one person tonight to be like, yeah, me and my brother, me and my sister have been having problems for 4 years. Like, let me just end this nonsense. Let me reach out to my family. Like, that's my whole thing, man. If I could convince one person to reach out and end the turmoil that they've been going through, that's driving them crazy every single day, that's my goal, dude. Let's live in peace, dude.
The governor of the state of Utah would welcome the president of a different party. I think it's insane that we are having those conversations in our country today. I so appreciate my blue state partners, governors who welcomed President Trump, and we welcome President Biden here. We honor this office of the presidency. When the president succeeds, America succeeds, and we want to find ways to work together. We also do want to push back when we disagree, and I think we've gotten really good at that part. But we need to remember the other part of that equation that makes us so proud to be Americans. There's been some question over whether or not the governor of the state.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to leave it right there. I honestly do think that every governor, every mayor needs to work with the president of their country to make matters better, to make things better all through the world, all through their country. You know what I mean? And I think that's something that's all politicians need to do. Unite as one. Instead of the blue state and the red state, work together. Work together to solve the problems within the United States. Work together to solve the problems in neighborhoods that are out of control with violence. Work together to solve the problems in neighborhoods and communities that's out of control with drug abuse. You know, work together to solve those problems. Because that whole blue state and red state, everybody's divided, is just going to keep the country divided. That's just how it is. If people seen every single day, okay, I got to choose this side, you got to choose that side, we got to choose different sides, and we have no way we can meet in the middle and work together to solve our problems, is always going to be divisions in this world. It's always going to be a division in the United States, and just that's all around the world, not just the United States. That's to all governments, all politicians all around the world. If you don't decide to work together to accomplish the goals in your country, to fix things in your country, it's always going to create more and more chaos for everybody, because everybody has to choose a side. You know, when it comes to everybody having to choose a side, it's always going to create problems. It's always going to create tension. It's always going to create violence. You know, so that's the reason why I wanted to make this video in regards to this gentleman, because the things that he's saying when coming to unite in the country and, you know, let everybody work together, I think that's what we need in the United States and what everybody needs all around the world. We all need to come together, work together to solve the problems that's going on in the United States and all around the world. It's just too much unnecessary violence, and you could blame all you could blame the NRA about the weapons and stuff. Like, bro, it's not about that, bro. It's about just people. It's just going down that path of they're just so angry. You know, people are so angry at other people for unnecessary reasons. Like, you can't be that angry at somebody for talking and saying how they feel in their heart. You can't be that angry. I know words are powerful, but what happened to Charlie Kirk is just completely outrageous. This man lost his life because of what he was talking about. Like, that to me is outrageous. You know what I mean? Like, a man going into a church the other day and unaliving people, that's completely outrageous. Like, things like that, like men traveling from Las Vegas to New York to unalive people, to me that's outrageous. So we have a lot of problems we have to fix in the United States, and I think the majority of governors need to work with the president, and, you know, hopefully things will turn out for the better over the next couple of years, with the help of God, of course. Guys, before I end the stream, I always like to take the time to show my gratitude and my utmost respect to our sitting president, so our commander-in-chief of the United States, which is Mr. Donald J. Trump, sir. As always, I salute to you and your entire family. May God bless you and your family, sir. May God watch over you and your families on this beautiful night and forever. May God watch over you and your families on your trips within the United States, and may God watch over you and your family, sir, on your trips outside the United States. God bless to you and your entire families. That's to our president, Mr. Donald J. Trump. May God bless all his kids in the United States as well. May God bless all his kids all around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, always treat people with the love, the kindness, the care, the respect, and the loyalty that you honestly expect others to treat you with at all times. Shorter version, always treat people the way you want to be treated. Always do what's right in the eyes of God and his family, and always make God a part of your decision making every single day. Guys, let's work together to make this world a better place. Let's work together to fix our problems. Let's do it together. A lot of things that's going on in this world, a lot of the anger is coming from things that's not necessary. Let's have a conversation instead of going to pick up a weapon. Let's talk it out. You know what I mean? It's not necessary. People are losing their life left and right just for going to the store, just going to church, just going to school, just walking in the neighborhood. It's just getting worse and worse and worse. Let's work together to figure it out. We're all God kids, no matter what color for our skin we are, no matter what religion, no matter what church we go to, no matter what church we attend. We're all God kids, bro. Let's do it together to make this world a safer and a better place for us all. Until the next stream, guys.